Hello and welcome back to One Life. I am your host, Donnie Rouse, and today I want to talk to you about a different way of manifesting. Manifesting is like a big buzzword now because everyone thinks that manifesting is just something that is going to bring your life's desires to you without any effort. When in fact, it's the exact opposite. Manifesting is requiring you to take the action, to take the steps. It's so easy to get stuck in the trap of thinking and waiting for life to happen to you. And the reason I came on here today is because I wanted to share just an insight that I had gotten from a book that I was reading that helped me look at manifesting very differently. And as a result of that manifesting, taking steps, consistent steps in the direction of what I go and what I want to create for my life. So let's get into it. When you think of manifesting, what is it that first comes to mind? You think of things kind of happening. You think of just having a thought and putting that thought out in the world. And as a result of having that thought, it's all of a sudden just going to come to you. Sounds nice, right? But is that really how it works? Manifesting requires you to take an action. It requires you to see the vision, but using that energy, your daily energy, to move forward in that direction. And allow the stars to align and guide you in motion. One of the things I have on my journal here, if you could see this on video, says be in motion, because the only way that you could ever be guided is by being in motion. So back to this book. I was reading this book, and it said something that really, really stuck with me and changed how I look at and approach my days in terms of the tasks that I put in my day to move towards the desired outcome that I want, my life vision. And it went something along the lines of this. Every day we go to sleep and our mind is opened back up into the infinite for a period of time. And then we wake up, we come back into this day replenished with our manifestation energy to continue in the world only to repeat the cycle again. When I heard this, I thought of the manifestation energy. What exactly does that mean? It means that every single day that you wake up, you are given a finite amount of energy before you have to replenish that. So in that finite amount of time, the time within your day and the energy you have within it, the manifestation happens in the actions that you take. That's why it was so eye-opening to me to hear that. All right, manifestation energy, I replenish it every single day. Okay, I get it. All right, so I have manifestation energy, and it's up to me how I use that every single day. All of a sudden, it just clicked. I'm like, well, yeah, because I have this energy, and how I manifest is through the actions I take. As a result of doing that, I just started asking myself a different set of questions at the beginning of my day. At the beginning of my day, I asked myself the question, what can I do today that is going to move me towards the direction I want to go, move me towards the objective, the desire, the ambition that I have? And then I start with that, at least one thing. And the funny thing is that isn't it true when you are in that rut, when you feel like you don't have the time, you're just reacting. But isn't it true that when you take time, you prioritize something that's important to you, you somehow find the time to do all of those other things that you were kind of clouding your mind and making you feel like you were just cluttered? It is true, because a lot of the time we spend just spiraling in our head. So I want you to tattoo this on your brain, saying every single day, I renew my energy to manifest my dreams. Every single day, I renew my energy to manifest my dreams. So knowing that we have this finite amount of energy in a given day to bring our dreams towards us, it now brings us to two other outcomes or areas of focus that we have to go on. One is our health. Like what is your daily health? Do you wake up? Do you automatically feel like you're drained from the moment you wake up? Because whether you know it or not, that impacts the energy, that impacts how you show up. So if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not getting enough movement, it is hurting your energy. And as a result, it's hurting what you are able to put into your desired outcome, into your dreams, into your ambitions. What else hurts it? What else hurts it is not having clarity for what it is you want. I was at the gym last week and I was talking to a guy who I believe he does Pilates. He's an instructor in Pilates and does something else in some other health medium. He didn't really give me many details, but something he said literally just, it was like I heard it and I was like, wow, that is so intriguing and it's so true of life. He said something along the lines of, we were talking about the body and how to open up certain body parts. So say you have restricted motion in your hips, which is me right now. And you're saying how the mind has gates that it has to go through. In order for you to open that gate, you need to know certain things. You need to know, like, all right, well, what is it that I want to achieve? Why is it that I want to achieve it? And what specific things are going to help me get there? And it's true of every single ambition you have of life. The more clarity you have, and I mean like real clarity, the more clear that picture is and the more it pulls you forward, and more it gives you the reasons why, and the more clear the strategy becomes to achieve it. Or if you're not clear on the strategy, now because you know what you want, you can go out and find the right strategy. So it's a two-part formula, right? The health, we have to have the energy so we wake up in the morning and we are able to go towards that, but we also have to know what it is we want. So with that, I come here and I want to check in with you and ask you, how have you been feeling for the last day, for the last week, for the last month, for the last 3 months? This is not a time to be critical of yourself. I say that because I had to do this check-in, and I still have to do this check-in daily. My sleep has been like horrendous. And then I realized that a lot of my sleep was, or lack thereof, was due to my habits. I would go to sleep at maybe, say 11 o'clock, I would get to sleep, right? That's a pretty good time for me, like 11 o'clock. But what was I doing leading up to 11 o'clock? See, the energy that you have is likely due to the last 72 hours of your life. So look to the last 72 hours. That is why you feel the way you do right now. What did you eat? What did you take in? What the emotions? How did you sleep? When I looked back on my patterns, I realized that I was going to sleep at 11 o'clock, which I thought was a reasonable time if I want to wake up at 7 o'clock. But I was online doing work up until the moment I was going to sleep. And what do you think that does to my mind, right? I would go to sleep, I would toss and turn, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and I just feel restless. Last night, I got back on the wagon and I said, okay, no. I'm going to eat my last meal at 7 o'clock. I am going to turn off work. I'm going to turn off electronics, and I'm going to give myself 1 hour without anything. Doing that, all of a sudden, I'm sitting down, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, oh, wow, everything seems to be pretty quiet right now, because my mind was getting quiet. And as a result of that, I passed out, and I had such a nice rested night's sleep, where that had eluded me last week and, maybe multiple weeks or months before that, right? And I know this, but common sense is not always common practice. I know I always have to get back to this. And now I put reminders everywhere just to remind myself of how important sleep is. And I will never forget that again. I will never forget that again, because it took me a little while to go through the habits to realize, like, all right, well, this is not helping me. Go through it. This is not helping me. And now I guarantee you that habit's changed. There might be those extraordinary circumstances where I have to get something done, but this is my habit going forward. And I tell you this because I want you to be kind to yourself. You may have the habit of scrolling before you go to sleep, or scrolling the moment you wake up in the morning. And as a result, it is robbing you of your life. It is robbing you of your dreams. So I tell this not for you to shame yourself, but just to shine a light. So this way you see, you know what, this is just a pattern that hasn't been working for me. And to make a new choice, to put that phone down, to turn that computer off, to turn that TV off, to allow yourself to wind down, to bring your mind to peace, to let go of all the stuff that you had picked up in your day. So this way you're not carrying it with you into the next day, because every day is a new start. Every moment could be a new start if you're willing. So to recap, Every single day, you are renewing your manifestation energy. And what you choose to do with that energy is what you are manifesting. So a common practice, and I challenge you this is get your journal out. One is let's bring some awareness to how you've been waking up, how you've been feeling. How have you been feeling? What's your energy level been on a scale from 1 to 5? What kind of clarity you have on a scale from 1 to 5 on terms of what you're looking for, what you're going after? Next is, what can you do at the beginning of your day? What is the one thing you can do that will move you towards that desired outcome you have for your life? The only responsibility you have now, or the only action you need to do, is that one action. You may not be able to get the entire thing done, right? Maybe you're only able to allot 10 minutes at a time. But I promise you this, by putting those 10 minutes into that task, even if you don't complete it, it is going to light you up. You are going to feel like you actually accomplished something, and you're going to feel alive because you're moving towards something that really matters, versus just going through the motions of your day and realizing you got to the end of it and it didn't do anything for you. It didn't get you further in it at all. And now this all going to change. So put the stake in the ground and decide tomorrow morning to do something different, to take action towards those dreams that you have. I hope you enjoyed this episode here. This is, again, I'm sharing this with you because this was a big aha for me. And it wasn't something that I didn't already know or understand, but just from hearing it in a different way, hit differently. And as a result, helped me create a new change and create a new pattern in my life. And that is my wish and my desire for you, to move towards those desires, to make your dreams come true. Because as always, you only get one life. Live fully, live passionately, and most of all, live right now. God bless you guys, and I will see you again soon.